It helps when it comes from the heart. Some of us
Yeah.
call them hobbies.
Yes, it should come from the heart.
Yeah.
Yes, it should come. Hello, everyone, and welcome to That's the Joy. My name is Tabitha Joy, your host. And this is the show where you get to listen, learn, and grow from great inspiring stories of women in business. So, if you're new here, karibu sana, and subscribe to our channel. And if you've been here before, stay tuned for so much more coming your way. So, without further ado, I'd like to welcome Nelly, our very special guest of today. Karibu sana, Nelly.
Thank you so much. So happy to be here.
I'm so glad that you've honored the invite.
Yes, we finally get to meet.
I know.
We've been planning.
I know we've really planned this for a long time.
Yeah.
Since last year, actually.
Since last year.
Yes.
I decided that this year is my year of audacity.
Yes.
And another thing I saw was
Mm-hmm.
I'm so used to taking myself out of spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm giving somebody else a chance to reject me.
Oh.
So I'm putting myself first.
Okay.
So
Okay.
anything I need to honor this year, I honor.
Oh, that's so nice of you. So we are joined with Nelly. Nelly is, she'll even tell you. Let me not even do an intro. Let her introduce herself. So who is Nelly?
Okay, pressure. I think you get to a certain age where you're so many things.
Yeah.
That you don't know what is that specific thing. But
Okay.
I am a mother.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in solving today's problems using business
Mm-hmm.
or motherhood.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that learning is done or should be done
Mhm.
without judgment
Mm-hmm.
or making somebody feel guilty.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be a journalist,
Oh.
and I think I want to use that experience in journalism
Mm-hmm.
to communicate in mass on what we can do to
Mm-hmm.
respect the planet's ability to stretch and accommodate our lifestyles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So, how did Green Thing come about? Like, what business are you running right now currently? Yes.
Yeah. So my passion has always been do better by the planet. It has always been, even before I started Green Thing, which is just one way of the ways that I demonstrate what you and I can do.
Mm-hmm.
We don't all have to start businesses. We
Yeah.
don't all have to buy my cleaning products. We
Yes,
don't all have
yes.
to buy my eco-friendly products.
Yes.
Some of you can go advocate for better policies.
Uh-huh.
Some of you can demonstrate. Some of you can provide grants to, say, activists, in especially from the global south, to make their voices heard. Because I feel like it's almost time. Actually, it's time for us to
It's time.
tell
It's
our
time,
stories.
guys.
And it starts with one of us wanting to demand that. It starts
Yeah.
with one of us demonstrating what truly our climate stories look like.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do with Green Thing.
Okay.
At the moment, I'm using eco-friendly home care products as the conversation starts on what climate change means to you and me, and what sustainability is.
Okay.
Yes.
So how did the business start? Like, how did you grow up? Did you grow up with plastic-free products? You know, because you're telling us we shouldn't use plastic bottles.
Yeah.
So how did you grow up?
I grew up in the village.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very small village called Mabarir.
Mm-hmm.
Mabarir.
Mabariri.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something red.
Okay.
Like my reds.
Oh,
So
okay.
to say, that's the slang.
Okay.
And I would almost say that I used to be a Shags Barbie almost.
Uh-huh. You're that who wouldn't talk to people.
Yes, one of those who were living in a permanent house. Way back. My mother was a primary school teacher.
Yes.
My father's a business person.
Wow.
And so I grew up with different ways of solving things. My mother, as a trained teacher, has educated, I think, a lot of people from my village. My father has started businesses that has made other businesses possible in my village.
Wow.
And not just that, he used to have a fleet of matatus, and that's how
Wow.
people from my village were able to get outside for better education, better healthcare,
Uh-huh.
better food,
Wow.
better clothes, seeing friends. And just looking at that, I think it opened my mind on what life is and what purpose is. Sometimes it looks like you're just running a business, but you're impacting other people's lives in
Yeah, for
ways
sure.
that it can never be measured.
Yes, yeah.
And I always loved that idea of fusing business for good. I just didn't know what it was then, but now I know after starting my own business. And so knowing good things and liking good things, because we were living in the village, but we went to school elsewhere. So we know that we could get something better than what was locally available, so
yes.
to say.
Yeah.
But when we got it, we had to make sure that we use it sparingly, because between having it and going for the next one, the duration was so long.
Okay.
And so I was always conscious.
Okay.
But I should also say that I'm the same child in school who I couldn't DIY.
Oh.
No, I love convenience.
Yes.
I loved convenience. I still love convenience. So the fact that I do a lot of DIY cleaning products,
yes,
or basic home care products,
yes,
it just demonstrates anybody can do it.
Yes.
If there's lazy, not wanting to go all the way make something from scratch,
yes,
it's me.
Okay.
But the fact that I'm doing it, I think I have concentrated so much on what truly living low tox and low waste looks like. And just the little extra time and the effort is way better than the health costs of consuming some of the things that we're consuming now. And even the cost, just generally. Having something single use all the time.
Yes.
Is way more expensive than having something reusable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't use sponges?
So let me explain. So living in the village, we loved good things.
Yeah.
So I had to be conscious. But also, we had to use what is available until it is completely exhausted.
Okay.
And so the idea of reusing and reusing
got to me
by practice.
Yes.
I'm not saying it's the entire reason why I'm doing that, because green thing is an accumulation of how I grew up, what have I acquired in the process, what I learned from other people, and what is needed in the world and in Kenya at the moment. And I want to be able to provide eco-friendly products as widely as possible. So in terms of price, it should be more accessible in terms of distribution, and for them to be able to get this product should also be accessible.
Yeah.
So there's an accumulation of many things. How I grew up, what I saw other people doing, what I've done, and it has worked, and I can trust that most moms would want to have, for example, a reusable wipe for baby's face or hands or bum. Because some of the wipes we use, first, it's plastic. Second, they're known to contain carcinogenic things, ingredients.
Yes.
Like when you see antibacterial wipes.
Wait, carcinogenic is like what?
Cancer causing.
Okay.
Can cause cancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of course it's case by case. There's so many cancers now.
Yeah.
And it's not always attributed to cleaning products, but we have our products now because we're consuming so fast. Honestly, it's not. Realistically thinking, I don't know how it's possible for any manufacturer to satisfy the demand so much while still being ethical to the people that make the product, while still making sure that these products are safe for human consumption, while making sure that once you're done with that product, if it goes to the landfill, it does not leach toxic substances into the soil, eventually into the water, and eventually into our bodies. It's a whole cycle.
Yeah, it is. So you grew up saying that you have to kind of like maximize on what you have.
Yes.
And then now that's how it translated into green thing.
Yes, and it doesn't have to be fancy.
Okay.
It really doesn't have to be Instagrammable. No. What you have, the money it's saving you, and the chemicals it's saving you, that's up to you. That's actually your business.
Okay.
But then as I grew up, went to school, studied mass communication.
Okay.
Practiced journalism.
Okay.
And at the beginning, I was just doing regular journalism.
Okay.
And I think I was 19 when I was an assistant producer for a political TV show. And this required bringing people from the government and people from the public, and they go head to head, like accountability. It was
Okay.
a political accountability show.
Sure.
And that gave me the experience on the power of the people to demand better,
Okay.
and the power of the people to do better. Because climate change just doesn't float by itself.
Yes. Yes.
And yes, people say that the planet will anyway heat.
Yeah.
Even without us doing
Anything.
That's
Yes.
true, but we're making it worse by some of the things that we're doing.
Yes, for sure.
And so
So what was the first product?
I went too deep.
Yes, you like.
I went into the fossil fuel
It's okay.
industry.
It's okay.
Um,
So what was
so
your first product?
19, when I started now working as an assistant producer and learning the power of media, I slowly transitioned to another job when I was producing news from Africa for German, Swiss, Austria audience. I was a producer then. And I think in that process, actually, if I could take you back a bit, when I gave birth to my son in 2012, I could see the wrong in the world. I could see the rise of fertility clinics in Kenya. I could see the rise of plastic. I could see how much Nairobi could become a flood city, could become a lake in just seconds.
Yeah.
Because the plastic we're consuming at an alarming rate is blocking the sewerage. I mean, even if we had good policies to make sure that we have clean cities, if we continue just trashing our drainage system, it doesn't matter. And that's why I think it's more of a behavioral change rather than it is a system or product. So Green Thing is not a place where products are sold. It's never been. And like I said before, anybody can sell products. This is a Go Green movement. And Go Green is so wide. It can be from a home level, it can be from a national level, it can be from a global level. Like now, for example, how the legally binding global plastic treaties being formed by everybody. That we are saying, if you're not going to actively try to reduce your plastic pollution as a nation, you have a legal obligation to do it or get some sort of spanking, so to say. You have to step up, live up to your word, because honestly, the mess is just too much, and it's even worse for countries from the global south who actually contribute very little to climate change. But if you look at how much waste comes in terms of e-waste, ex-UK laptops, ex-UK
everything is ex-UK nowadays.
We also have to know what we are bringing. Some of it is just as maybe an extra year, and then it's waste. And we don't have some of the complex recycling systems to do it here. So we don't have it here. There's a cost to send it back to where it came from. And so we end up with trash. And e-waste is actually really toxic because of the lead and mercury substances.
And I think that's what I loved about your brand. You don't just sell products. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. We see you in the house making cleaning products through orange peels, So I think that's what I really loved most about your brand. So what was the first product? What was your first product that you started?
My first product was metal straws.
Okay.
And I can tell you why it hurt me so much. Because when I was coming up with this concept of Green Thing, what I wanted to, this is the dreaming bit. Dream as much as you can. Stay the Lulu. I think the beginning of a business is where a lot of people, at least I was the Lulu at that time. I'm happy I was, but also sometimes I'm happy that I didn't take it
too far. Okay.
I wanted to produce everything in Kenya. Everything. I wanted everything to be made in Kenya.
Okay.
And I was starting Green Thing because I was just done with procrastinating. I was done with not keeping the words I tell myself. Because if I'm not keeping them, who am I going to keep?
You're accountable to yourself.
And honestly, my friends were just irritated with me saying something for so long, many years, and not doing it. So if you're out there actually, the thing that you've been saying that you want to do, do it. Nobody's going to do it for you. You have to get off and
do it yourself.
But it was not possible. It was a very rough time of our lives. We had just spent a lot of money. I can't even say it out loud sometimes to keep our daughter alive. She was in ICU for 2 months. So starting Green Thing was just the 8,000 bob I had. come on, buy and buy.
Mm.
I have to do this.
Yes.
And
this was how long ago?
This is early 2019.
Okay.
And so I got 100 straws as my initial capital.
Wow.
It got sold out in 2 days. Somebody should have
100
told
straws.
me. Yes, in 2 days. I think one had a few people who were irritated with me talking. Like,
yes.
go ahead and do it.
Yes.
And they were friends of friends of friends. But they've seen me finally doing it.
Yes.
So let's support her.
Yes.
And that's also another thing. There are people waiting for you to execute that idea.
Yeah.
And most likely it's not your family or friends.
Yeah.
Most likely.
It's an outside community.
Yes. Yeah. And you have this energy.
Yes.
You actually have this energy that you send and people want to be with you and build this thing with you. The second client was a hotel.
Okay.
I got sold out. I put some money back into the business.
Yes.
Some we had to buy food.
Yeah.
Because we were hand to mouth
yes.
from that.
Yes.
I think I had luck, I would say. But this luck was built by me constantly reading on the action I can take as a person, as a business, as a mom.
Yes.
The opportunities that existed.
Yes.
It was the luck I built
that
made it possible for me to bring the second product in.
Okay.
Based on the profit from the first product.
Yes.
So that was bamboo toothbrushes.
Wow.
The process of
I think that's the one I
finally
bought.
Doing
yes. Yeah.
Reading about bamboo species in Kenya. There's over 42.
Wow.
But we don't have enough research for us to know which one is equivalent to what the Chinese are building houses with. We don't know enough which one is the edible one, because there's also that.
Yes.
We don't have enough data. And so my data was limited, and so I could not act on it. Got a machine, started doing tufting, so the bamboo tufting. But again, the research is not enough.
Yes.
And for me to execute that, to have a whole plant,
yes,
that would be millions and millions. Remember, I have 8,000 and a bit more. It was not going to work.
Yes.
But I had a very convincing community that bought. I had a very strong community that exposed me to other people, companies. I had other people telling me about what it is to run a business.
Yes.
I had a community.
And that's what you need.
That's what I needed.
Yes.
Actually, that's what everybody
needs.
Needed.
Yeah.
And people can read when something is just superficial, that for them it's just a business.
Yes.
And a community can sense when
it's a passion.
It's a passion, and it's not up to her.
Yes.
You know that thing we say that it takes a community to raise a child?
Yes.
A business is a child.
Yes.
And that community actually exposes you to every little thing. The same community can reprimand you when you change.
Yes, in the business,
accountable.
Yes.
Yes,
that's how you started.
That's how I started.
And then
at the
now,
moment, eventually, I got to now start producing in Kenya.
Yes.
70% of the products I have are made in Kenya.
Wow.
And 30 is imported, ethically imported, which can be slow because I wanted to check your credentials.
Yes.
When you're selling to me.
Yes.
Do you have a third party that checks your products, checks your premises, checks how much you pay your people? And where
That's
do you
a lot.
discard?
Yeah.
This is a lot. So between an idea and me having a product, there's so much money I spend to talk to SGS, go to SGS, look at paperwork, have somebody look into it.
Yes.
Between that and having a product, I'm already so exhausted that I cannot afford to pay an official graphics designer to make everything I've had to do on Canva. So that the bigger things, I'm providing a good product.
Yes.
Might probably be more expensive than probably my competitor or the conventional ones.
Yes.
But my idea is not to bring a cheap product. My idea is to bring an affordable, safe product made by a Kenyan woman and Kenyan company.
Yes.
It takes a lot more.
Because
another strand that Green Thing has is the gender aspect. For a long time, I think women globally have been playing catch up.
Yes.
But more so, even African
women yes.
It's even more.
Yes.
We were not allowed to own land. So even your right to grow your food or have a house or start a business, you're already compromised just by birth.
Yes.
So there's a lot of catch up, and I try to bring this kind of conversations using my products.
Wow.
So I don't want it to be just like, here, this is eco-friendly.
Yes.
No, I want you to know I have women employed for this. I have people who
use it on a day-to-day basis.
Yes, I have tailors who would ordinarily not consider themselves as green warriors.
Yes.
But they're now making your reusable coffee filters, helping you
Yes.
reduce your waste.
Yes.
There's a whole team, there's
Yes.
a whole vision, there's a whole family that wants your family to have access to good stuff, not cheap stuff.
For sure.
If I want to do cheap, then I would mass produce a lot of things without taking my time to understand what my people need.
So speaking of challenges, for example, what like, have you met copycats in the market? Like, have you encountered someone saying that I can do this as well? I mean, we can get this from IKEA and brand it and yes.
So many.
Yes.
So many.
Yes. And how do you handle that?
Yes. There's so many people that I've seen coming up now doing something eco-friendly products.
Yeah.
But as I said, anybody can sell products.
For sure.
And secondly, you can always execute it in a very, very different way. Thirdly, it's always such a joy to see that what Green Thing started in Kenya is influencing so many people, even businesses, to think that way. So it's a compliment.
Yes.
It's almost a compliment. I mean, it hurts sometimes because you spent a lot of money and research to come up with this, but somebody just takes a shortcut. But it will never be the same.
It can be the same.
And the end goal is always, is it better? Do we have more people who have access to this product? Competition is always fair.
Yeah.
Actually, it reminds you of how strong you are. It really reminds you.
That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah.
What separates you. If you take your time and talk to your customers.
Yes.
Like, what is special about Green Thing?
Yes.
I've had people who go and then they come back.
Oh.
And then they say, I didn't notice.
Yes.
Because I don't want to concentrate on that. I don't want to concentrate on who's living.
Yes.
I want to look at who have I impacted.
Yes.
The tailors with their kids. The moms who've had children with really stubborn eczema.
Yes.
And finally find a soap.
Yes.
That just works.
For them, yeah.
I mean, yes, it's not fancy. It doesn't even have packaging.
It's okay.
But it works.
Yes.
Again, I'm not selling fancy. I'm not selling cheap. I want to sell what works.
Yes.
If it happens to be cheaper, it's just an added bonus.
I really like that. Selling what works.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I want to try it with my kids, my family, to say that it works.
Your community.
And this is communication. This is environmental advocacy using product. And I've been here, and I think I borrow the idea of using education, the education I have as a journalist,
for sure,
but also the education that my father has handed down to me without even knowing on how to run a business. So I fuse education and journalism
together, yes,
business and education,
yes,
to kind of curate a solution.
Okay,
so to say, I think I would call it a solution.
Okay, maybe you can tell us about the Cambridge campaign that you were doing. The bags that you made for them. Yeah. Yes.
So, and that's another strand. Corporate Green Thing. Let me go back.
Yes.
Green Thing has come up with an eco-corporate section.
Okay.
Where we think that companies need to reduce their carbon footprint. Also, that requires looking at the marketing materials they use.
Yes.
So we have about 6 products under eco-friendly, eco-corporate products.
Okay.
And one of them is totes. And we've been lucky to work with companies that care about the trash they put out there.
For sure.
Yeah. And the latest one, or the most recent one, is Cambridge University.
Yes.
And they're trying to teach kids on climate change and sustainability, and they're trying to infuse that into the Cambridge system. So we did a collaboration with them.
Wow.
And they're traveling from Kenya to South Africa.
Yes, I
saw. 8,000 kilometers.
Yes.
Going from school to school, interacting with children, teachers, people in librarians.
Yes.
Talking about how can we bring environmental awareness to schools, because that's where the change can come from.
Yes.
The younger children are so well. I think they're going to be called Generation Ultra or something that.
Yeah, I think so.
They are so good. These kids, when you give them an iPad, they figure stuff out so fast. So how can we use the ability that they have and put the information on climate change and sustainability in their eyes?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's beautiful how when a business makes an impact, I mean, it goes a long way. That leaves a legacy, it's just it makes a difference. Yeah. And what would you tell someone who is wanting to get into this space, wanting to also start a business and impact like like the way you're doing, advocating for eco-friendly products, natural products, what would you tell someone who wants to do such a business?
The first general rule for business is it should be another business and green thing. It should never be either or. There's a lot more opportunities for collaborating. If you want to get in, look at people who are doing the things that you want to do. How can you collaborate with them? You possibly maybe don't want to do the products, but you want to maybe work well to distribute that product. So yes, you're part of the value chain, but in the space where you're using your strength. My strength is speaking what we can do. It's speaking our climate stories. I have exceptional accountants, exceptional tailors who are very good at stitching, and so we are it's a collaboration. So if you're looking into getting into the space, just know that it's a tedious space. It's becoming more capitalistic almost. There's going to be a lot of greenwashing. Stay to your value, even if you find 100 of them doing the same thing. There's a voice, there's a way you're explaining a concept that we want to hear. So come on in, the more the merrier. The more the merrier. Yeah. And then stick to what you know. I think if you look at other people, if you copy it, you can't scale it. Because you're waiting to see how has she scaled as well. So for sure. From your heart, authenticity is everything. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. Even when your business feels like it's going down. Tap into where the origin of that idea. There's always an answer. There is. And so where can we find Green Thing? Oh, yes. So we have a kiosk called Palette Cafe. It's in Lavington, James Bishuru. It's right opposite Lavington Mall. We have a wonderful sales rep called Zippy. Wow. She'll guide you through. She knows everything. She can receive clients in corporate section or individuals, or people who want to have classes, because that's another thing I offer. Oh, you do? I do curated workshops for people to learn about, say, carbon footprint and carbon markets, and then do a DIY, easy little thing that you can do at home to reduce plastic pollution, also save you money. It's really important at this time. We need to save money. But you don't make it today and say that, oh, wow, the money's going up. A little bit more. Okay. So thank you so much, Nelly, for coming. Thank you for sharing with us. We have been inspired. This was such a joy. Oh, thank you. Pun intended. Thank you. So, yes, that's our time, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope to see you in the next video. And please remember to subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye. Bye.